Hello, welcome to the It's All Good show. My name is Denise Belisle, and I'm a serenity expert and positive intelligence specialist. The It's All Good show, look who's here for a chat, is a time where every Monday I bring to you a guest that will share their insight about what they do. It can vary. I had photographer here, I've had life coach, I've had all kind of people, accountant, but people that I feel in my heart that are wonderful people and that I would want to share them with you, because people that are listening to those videos come from all area of life and they need a whole bunch of different people in their life to support them. So before we go any further, I would like to invite you to go to my YouTube channel, where this video ends up, and subscribe. I would love to have you around to see any videos that I publish. And I have those 77 past interview out there. Plus I do some live video, some little bit of knowledge that I post there. Everything is stored there. So you don't have to scroll into my social media to see what I've done. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel. And every time I have something new going there, it will be there. And also, before I go, before I go with Elizabeth, I want to explain why I call this the It's All Good show. It's mainly because life, whatever happened in your life, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's exciting, whether it's sad, it's all good. Because we can't change what happened in the past and we can't predict what's going to happen in the future. So the best way to live our life is to be right here, right now, you and I, right here, watching this video and being happy, because that's the best thing you can do right now. So, and also it's my favorite cup. It's all good. And when I found this cup, I didn't know I was going to use it as my prop. But as I go forward and as I move in life, I realized that what was written in my cup felt really well with my way of thinking. And so there you go. This is the cup. Also, one more thing, as we go through this video and you listen to what we have to say, if you ever feel like you would like to know more about what I do, if you would like to be on my show, or if you would just want to have like a conversation with me to help you find wherever you want to go in life and how to find your purpose, book a call with me. And I would be more than happy to have a chat so we can get to discover. I can get to discover you, you can get to discover me. And then if we're a match and if we want to work together, then that'll be awesome. So I have here, as I mentioned, I have Elizabeth Waters. She's a life coach. And our topic today is purpose, truth, and unity with humanity. So I'm really looking forward to see what's going to come out of our conversation. Sometimes it's often a mystery, and then magic is happening when we talk together. So without any further delay, let's welcome Elizabeth. Elizabeth, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you, Denise. Thanks for having me. And I just am so inspired by you. So I really appreciate you having me.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we both have amazing, qualities, and I'm inspired by you too. So I look forward to share what you do, and how you can influence, or in a good way, like, we are influencers, right? We are moving in a direction that we want to bring people with us in order for all of us to create a big momentum in life. So tell me, Elizabeth, tell me a little bit about what you do and how you got there. So the floor is yours. Tell us about who you are, where you are, what you're doing, and how you got to do that.
So I am in South Florida, and I am a life coach for a purpose. And then my bigger dream is to create world peace with humanity. So how I get to do that is I have studied leaders who've had great conversations about changing the world. And I
Mhm.
want to leave a legacy with those conversations to create change for the future so that we can create world peace. I may
That's
never see it in my lifetime, but hopefully I can inspire enough people to create that conversation to continue
yeah.
long after I'm here. And as far as life coaching, I think it's really important for people to understand their purpose. And how I get people to purpose is based on their core values. What's important to you? What's in alignment for you? What's
Mhm.
your biggest dream? And once you reach that inner peace and come to that purpose in life, then you have the ability to go out into the world and service others. And I really think that's why we're here, is to service each other and be a part of the human family and make a difference to each other.
Oh,
So that's where I'm coming from.
oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So, dear audience, I'll remind Elizabeth from time to time not to shake because her camera's moving.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
so it's just that she's on a cell phone. So sometimes it's a little bit shaky where she put the cell phone on, and just so perfect right now. So, so I love what you're saying, because you said I might not be alive when this happened, but it, you're working towards it happening. And I love that, because it's like a snowball effect, right? All we have to do is start. If we work, together as a humanity right now, to start the snowball effect, which means that it start to slowly roll down the hill, and eventually at the bottom of the hill, it's this big snowball, which is not that big, but my screen just allow me to do this. Is that big snowball that, where eventually all of us together in this planet, we would say enough with the war, enough with negativity, enough with stabbing one another, literally and figuratively, like, and let's join hand and let's walk together and make this world a paradise. Because I agree with you in that sense, that right here we could tomorrow have a world where nobody would be hungry, nobody would be sleeping on the street, nobody would be lonely, if we were all to work together, right? So I
Right.
think
And Denise, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
The amazing thing about what you said is that we don't need to reach everybody. If we raised, based on my research, 1% of the population of the world and raise the consciousness into the elevation of awareness of peace and the conversations of peace and love and unity, just with 1% of the population, we can change the world globally.
Wow, 1%. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that is.
Well, there's already 2 here out of 8 billion, so we're good, right? So I think
And
if anybody that is watching and wants to add on to those 2 girls here, go ahead, give me a thumbs up on the chat, or place a comment that, yes, I'm with you ladies. I want to support peace. I want to create peace on earth. I'm part of that 1%. That's all we need, which is awesome. That's a great statistic. It's encouraging, I found.
yes, yes, it is, because people aren't aware that that elevation is just what inspires people. It starts the ripple effect or the snowball effect, as you say. And if everybody had 200 people in their email that they felt comfortable in just saying, I want to create world peace, and was direct about it, we can reach 1 billion people in our lifetime.
Mm, yeah,
So,
yeah. And that's actually more than 1%. So,
exactly, exactly.
so
So,
the chance of us
right.
succeeding is a lot better. If we were to be able to put, our resources together and supporting one another. Like, I think we might be off topic or not, I don't know, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel that greed has led the world in a direction that makes poor being poor and the rich being rich and the hungry being hungrier and the opulence being more opulent. And I feel that once we're able to have this mentality of really supporting our brothers and sisters out there, people that are in the world, and looking at everyone with new eyes and looking at everyone with the spirit of, yes, I want to, I don't want you to be hungry anymore, right? Like if I was a farmer and I would be able to use some of my crop and being able to, if it's not a beautiful tomato, well, I'll put it in a special basket and I'll bring it to the soup kitchen or whatever, somebody that makes food for the hungry, right? Like I'll make ways so that, if I can't sell it, why trash it? I'll give it away. I'll support other people. I think if we were all to think that way, I think that would be pretty awesome.
So I don't think you're off topic at all. So greed is definitely something that needs to be addressed. And not everybody needs to have that dream of let's create world peace. I want people to find their truth, their alignment, because let's just take the hairdresser, for instance. She went out and she gave free haircuts to the homeless. That was her purpose. That was her truth. And she really made a difference in the lives of people just by a haircut. So if we're all authentic with our alignment, our purpose, and our truth, that's what leads to world peace. It's not just having this grand idea about creating world peace. It's about everybody being in alignment with their purpose.
Yes.
So I think you're right on point.
But what does that really mean, to be aligned with your truth? Like for people, say, what does that mean? Be aligned with my truth. So what with truth? So how would you define that?
So when you're a child, a lot of people don't know like what they want to be when they grow up, but they're really clear about who they are. And if you listen to your internal voice about who you are, that's where our alignment, purpose, and truth comes from. Is acknowledging that inner voice and saying, this is who I really am.
Okay. It's just to listen to the little voice inside that's telling you something that, a lot of time we ignore, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've been taught to do that because we've been taught to consume things as opposed to create who we are. We're consumers, especially in the United States. And it's not about impacting the world or creating a better version of ourselves or creating our biggest dream. How often do people walk up to you, Denise, and say, hey, what's your biggest dream? They're like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah. How much money do you make? What car do you drive?
Right, exactly.
Which neighborhood do you live in?
So we don't look at that part of us. And I think that little voice is really important to set us on our path to purpose, truth, and alignment.
That's really amazing. And you mentioned earlier, the pre-show, that you wanted to create a legacy. So what is it that it's important about that legacy that you want to create?
So one of the people that really impacted me was John Lewis. He's a senator, but he wrote a book called Across the Bridge. His last chapter in that book was about love and creating conversations for younger people to create world peace. And he worked on a project that started 100 years ago and finally got it to fruition right before he died. And he's trying to say, let's look at leaders and create conversations for the next generation so they can make it happen. And that's
Hmm.
the legacy I want to leave. I want to lead new conversations about human unity and a way to achieve it that makes a difference and shows up in their lives.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's great. And so, what are you doing right now to build that legacy? What are the some of the steps that you are taking right now, so that people that listen might say, "Hey, I want to be part of that," or so. So, what is it that you're doing right now that could lead to your
So
legacy?
I do life coaching to help people find their purpose. Once they reach an inner peace, I offer seminars and I have a retreat. But I also have created a Zoom community for human unity, specifically for people to come together and have conversations that are different in ways of relating to each other. So instead of looking for what's different between us, Denise, what's the same? What are our commonalities? Not what is our division.
And
So
what
those
have
are.
you found? What have you found as a feedback when you do these Zoom calls where people are finding community as opposed to what's different? So give me some example of what could have transpired from that.
So what transpires is that there's a really powerful group of people who are up to greater things in life, who have come to some sort of inner peace and are ready to serve humanity. And that's a really big step in the world.
Yeah.
So not everybody's there. Not everybody has that inner peace. So it's a really powerful group that talks about what's possible and what and how can we move it forward as a community to reach more people. And that's really what we're trying to do, is reach more people.
Wow, that's pretty good. And those things is what I found, because I am also a true believer of creating peace and harmony on earth, being a serenity expert. I want more
Right?
peace around myself, around the people that surround me and around them. And again, the ripple effect, right? If I create peace
Right.
around myself, if I'm peaceful, then the people that are surrounding me are also peaceful, and et cetera, et cetera. And but what I like is, um, there are so many people out there that do want what we want. I'm sure that 1% is already there. We talked about the 1%. The 1% is already there. But having one of the percent here and one of the percent there and one of the percent there that don't know one another, it kind of makes it a little bit diluted. But as you do these events and as we all preach our own thing on our own way and we try to bring people together, I think the more we do that, we can align all these minds together and then start to create a movement that will start that snowball effect or that ripple effect that we're talking about. Because the more mind gets together, the more we have this effect, right?
As a serenity expert, what I just heard you say, my question to you is, do you think that we are already connected on a level of soul? Because you said mind. And I just want to know if, because I believe that we're really already connected, and then we need to meet each other in the mind, but we're soul connected.
Perhaps. For me, mind and soul is kind of the same, being
Okay.
atheist, but like it's one of the same for me. But like I in a group that I belong to, we have once a month we have a global meditation for peace. And I'll send you that link. It's probably next weekend, I think. I'll have to double check, but I'll send you the link of when it happens. And then you could
Right.
invite your community there. And the more people together, right? Like the more we get together and we connect to one another and we get to vibrate at the same vibration, that would, like, that example just gave me an idea. Like when we've all heard of wind, right? When the wind hit a bridge in a certain vibration, then that could make the bridge fall apart, even if that bridge has been built to hold thousands and thousands of cars or weight or pound, right? But once you
Right.
hit a vibration, one like a glass that explodes when somebody sing, it's because we hit that vibration of the glass that makes it that it will explode. But it works in a positive way too. If all together our brain can vibrate at the same level, it can, together we can create that ripple effect that will affect more and more people on this planet, right?
Absolutely. That was beautifully put. Yes. Yes. That's
So,
beautiful.
so how many people do you have right now in your movement, in your community?
30, 30 people.
Oh, that's
So,
great. And
yeah.
you guys meet regularly online, and you find ways to
Yes.
attract more people.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And so I know you said that you're doing life coach, and but outside of that, what is your biggest goal?
Well, human unity is my biggest goal. Um, but really, in terms of coaching, supporting people in that inner peace, like getting off of it and really coming to terms with being present, trusting the process, and just
Yeah,
being,
yeah,
just being and have it be okay,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And once you have your purpose,
It's all good.
right? Right? Once you have your purpose, it's what propels you every day to just like get up, show gratitude for another day of life and move
Hmm.
forward. So when I get stuck, I just look at what my dream is, and it just like just just descends me out of bed, and I just am so excited to start the day. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I really focus on that.
So how do you find people to be part of your tribe, to be part of your group? Like how do you find them?
So people, like-minded people, are attracted to each other. So it's really like people show up in my life, and I really vet them
Mm,
because they have to be like-minded to be, they have to appreciate core values and gratitude and empathy and commitment, integrity, all those kinds of things for me to
yeah.
really have them in my tribe.
Mm. So these
So
are these that you just elaborate, are these your core values?
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. Those are some of them. They're not my main core values, but they are incredibly important.
So what are your core values?
So on top of integrity and commitment, light and love seem to be number one.
Hmm.
Um, balance is to me the key to life, and family, friends, and people, and making a difference are
Yeah,
my core values.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely. By all of us being united together, and even if, like, for example, even if we're not sisters, the fact that we think the same way and we want the same goal, we're sort of sisters in some ways, right?
well, and that's the commonality, Denise, is
Yeah.
we are sisters in humanity.
Hmm. Yeah.
So somewhere along our DNA list, we're connected.
Somewhere.
So yeah, so I look at that. I look at that, and I think
Yeah.
of the human family as really being my family. And I don't agree with everyone, but I accept people for who they are and their our commonalities.
I like that you said that, because when you look at it in the end, um, that if you go back thousands of years, there was not that many people on the earth. So in one way or the other, we're all connected. right? We're all like, I did my ancestral DNA things, and they say that I'm from France, but France and what is it? What was that? French German, and also French German, and what else? French German and England, somewhere in England. But then it's me that my DNA is part of it, and I have DNA from a lot of other things, but these were my main one, right? And Wendy Bergen said, like, we are sister. Yes, we are, Wendy. and
Yes, absolutely.
but then we're all connected, like we've been around, like the life on earth and society as we are. We can go back, thousands of years, and at that time there was not that many groups of people, and all these people created children, and these children separated, and some became more into an area than another, and they had some trait to develop in that. But in reality, our DNAs come a lot from the same source, right?
Right. Well, they have, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've had to,
So,
right? And then so when we say, like a race is inferior or another one is superior and all that, I mean, it's all BS, because it's, in the end, we're all connected. We all have the same blood running through our vein, and
I
we're all
love
human beings,
that.
right?
Yes, yes, I love that.
Mm,
So, I was German, Welsh, and English.
mm.
So we're
We're definitely
sisters.
sisters.
Yeah. Wendy had it right on the nose. She's a fabulous person. So
Yes, yes, we're all
yeah,
sisters.
yes,
And
yes.
um so if people resonate with you and they want to reach you, so how, like, I'll share the ticker on how people can reach you. So there's lots of ways that you can reach her. You can either text her, you can call her office and leave a message, you can send her an email, and you can go to our website, which is transformtopurpose.com. So there's lots of way you can reach Elizabeth. So if you feel that this was resonating with you a little bit, you would like to be part of a greater scheme, so to create peace on earth, don't hesitate, reach out. Like, then they'll be 31, and then they'll be 32, and then they'll be 64, and then they'll be 128, and then it will go fast. We just need to dare to want to connect. And often we feel like I've done that in the past, and I'm as guilty as can be for what I'm going to say. But we feel like, oh, but I don't know her. I want peace on earth, but I don't know her. Like, why would I contact her? But that's why you should contact her, right? Like, by associating with people we don't know. They don't have to be your neighbor next door. They can be your neighbor in the next country, or your neighbor, in the next continent, and associate together and help one another and support one another, right? Am I right?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful,
So
Denise. Thank you.
yeah. And do you have a gift for people? I think you
I
do.
do. I like to send people, if they email me, I will send you a booklet to prioritize your values so we can get to your purpose and your core values
Wonderful.
and define your alignment with yourself and work on that. So absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
send an email to Elizabeth, and then she can send you that gift. And one more thing, like, um so what type of people would you say would want to actually hire you? Because right now, I imagine when we're talking about it, it seems to me like it's all volunteer work. But how do you help people as a life coach to, and how could people, contact you? But what can they expect if they were to be working with you as a coach?
So ideally, I love to help people find their purpose, their truth, and their alignment, and empower them to take on their biggest dreams and feel really fulfilled and know that they're here for a reason. And
Mm,
once they find that reason, I like to hold them accountable in getting there. So let's take on life and live it to the fullest. And that's my value as a coach.
That's amazing. On life. I'm writing that down. Let's take on life and have an amazing life. I think that's a great way to put it for sure. So, do you have any last words before we end this little wonderful meeting?
I just want to thank you, Denise, for having me. And I appreciate who you are in the world.
Thank you.
And I hope that your viewers got something out of this today and we can expand in abundance.
Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't mean that because we want peace and love on earth that we have to starve, right? So don't think that
Right.
it's, we're there for abundance, because there's enough on earth for everyone. Everyone can be comfortable, healthy, wealthy, have everything they need, and support more people. The more we receive, the more we give, the more we give, the more we receive. So don't be shy just to be out there and give what you have in order to be supported too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Wonderful. So stay there, Elizabeth. I'll be right back with you. Wow, amazing conversation with Elizabeth. It's for me, it's something that's really you notice in the talk. Like, I was talking pretty much just as much as her, because for me, creating peace on earth, creating a world where we stop talking, like talking about war is something of the past. Like, I say that all the time. When we want to eliminate negative thought or patterns, we need to reinforce it with a positive one, and when you don't think about it anymore, it just disappears. So I want to have this humanity eliminating that negative neurons of needing more, of greed, of hatred, and build that big neuron, humanity neuron, of love, support, abundance, and love for all humanity. And I hope you can join us and join Elizabeth. Again, if you want to reach her, here's how you can reach her. You can stop that video if you're watching on replay and just write down her phone number, and I'll be in the show note also. And if you want to reach me, well, that's how you can do that. It's tiny.cc/talk with Denise. And I would love to have a conversation with you if you want to learn how to bring more peace in your life and become also a serenity expert on their way. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to find you there and for you to explore all the amazing videos and interviews that I have done over the last year and a half. I have so many amazing people in there, and it was such a pleasure to interview all these people. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And until next time, be kind to one another. Goodbye.